So you probably know Nikola Tesla for the War of the Currents, right? His absolutely world-changing work with alternating current that, literally powers our lives today. But here's the thing. Once that war was won, Tesla didn't just kick back. No, he turned his genius toward a strange, almost magical frontier of electricity. So let's dive into that next and truly wild chapter of his story. And this is really the big question for today. I mean, think about it. The guy had already given the world a new kind of power. So what was he looking for next? What secrets did he believe were still hiding inside the very currents he'd already tamed? Well, the answer was going to take him into a realm that almost nobody could even imagine. And that brings us right to our first section, Tesla's new frontier. And I want to be clear, this wasn't just a small pivot. This was a gigantic leap from his work on global power grids to studying invisible, high-energy forces. Okay, to really get a feel for this, the standard AC current he just championed for the whole world runs at 60 cycles per second. 60. He was now diving into frequencies hundreds, even thousands of times faster. Tesla was absolutely convinced that at these incredible speeds, electricity would just behave in totally new and undiscovered ways. So that leads us to a huge problem. You see, to even start this research, Tesla needed a machine that simply did not exist. He had to invent it. And that led to what he cheekily called the Wagnerian alternator. Yeah, you couldn't just order a high-frequency alternator from a catalog back then. He had to design and build one from the ground up. And as he found out pretty fast, it was an engineering nightmare that pushed the very limits of what they knew about physics and materials. And this quote, it just tells you everything about his frustration and his wit. In his own words, his early tries were so loud and destructive, they could have been the soundtrack for a super dramatic opera. The machine was, as he put it, perfect at only one thing, turning mechanical energy directly into heat. Not exactly what he was going for. This process was just pure, relentless invention. His first design with an iron core, it just melted. So he gets rid of the iron core, but then he just trades one set of massive problems for another. It was like escaping one mythical monster just to face another one. But through just sheer persistence, he kept refining his design until he finally had it, a machine that could generate these stable, high-frequency currents he desperately needed. And this is where we get to the payoff. Section 3, electricity through the air. With his brand new alternator humming away, Tesla's laboratory was about to become a stage for some of the most bizarre and beautiful electrical phenomena ever witnessed. Seriously, what he saw next challenged the fundamental understanding of electricity. This wasn't just about power anymore. It was about light, about energy, and about transmission through space itself in ways that nobody had ever thought was possible. Just try to imagine this. A simple glass tube, totally empty of wires, suddenly starts glowing with light just because it's being held in this energy field. An entire vacuum pump begins to glow. He could take a regular lamp and have it light up right in his hand with absolutely no connection to a socket. He was demonstrating for the first time the practical reality of wireless power. And then came the most stunning demonstration of all. I mean, we are all taught that electricity and the human body are a fatal combination. And yet, Tesla found that these incredibly high-frequency currents, powerful enough to light lamps, could stream right over his skin without causing him any serious harm. So how on earth was this possible? Well, Tesla's theory was that at these extreme frequencies, the human body behaves like what he called a condenser. Today, we'd call it a capacitor. So instead of penetrating deep into your body and stopping your heart, the electrical energy effectively just flows over the surface of your skin. And this is exactly why he could hold a lamp, have it light up, and basically become part of a wireless circuit himself. So, as if lighting up bulbs from thin air wasn't enough, Tesla then put together an experiment that seemed to violate the most basic fundamental laws of electrical engineering. It's a really simple question, and you probably already know the answer. The electricity takes the path of least resistance, which is the wire, and you get a short circuit. The bulb, of course, goes out. Simple, right? Well, not in Tesla's world. With his high-frequency current, the exact opposite happened. The tube near his coil lit up brightly, even with a copper wire connecting its terminals. The current completely ignored what should have been a dead short. It was like the wire wasn't even there. This was a truly mind-bending result. And his explanation was even more radical.
He said the energy wasn't just flowing through the conductors anymore. At these frequencies, it was flowing through the space around them. The air, the room, the whole environment had become part of an open circuit. This was a foundational insight, really, for the entire future of radio and wireless tech. And that leads us right into our final section, visions of a wireless world. You see, these incredible demonstrations, they weren't just for show. For Tesla, they were the first real, tangible proof of a completely new technological future. He wasn't just a scientist discovering interesting phenomena. He was an inventor, seeing applications everywhere. In every single glowing tube and every harmless spark, he saw the potential to transform communication, energy, and just daily life on a global scale. And his foresight was just stunningly specific. In his paper from 1891, he laid out these future possibilities, new kinds of transformers, the ability to send power right through insulators, and creating practical, long-lasting lamps that would never ever need to be plugged in.
And so we end with this. Way before Wi-Fi, before Bluetooth, before commercial radio was even a thing, Nikola Tesla was demonstrating the fundamental principles of it all. His experiments weren't just lab tricks. They were the opening notes of a symphony that is still playing all around us today. Thanks for joining me. Let's talk about something that holds back even the smartest people from really succeeding in fields like engineering, physics, you name it. It's not about how smart you are, and it's not about passion. It's a single, fundamental roadblock that most people just don't see coming. So why is that? Why does someone who can grasp these incredible, complex theories in electronics or advanced mechanics suddenly hit a wall? What is this invisible barrier that just stops so many talented people right in their tracks? Well, this quote from a veteran engineer just hits the nail on the head. All of that incredibly advanced, mind-bending stuff, it's all built on the algebra you learned in high school. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You can't just kind of know it. You have to really know it, inside and out. And that brings us to the main point here. The foundation isn't just important, it's everything. It's the bedrock that every single advanced skill is built upon. Let's break down why this is so unbelievably critical. Okay, so before you can even think about manipulating something like derivatives in calculus, you have to be an absolute wizard at shuffling equations around. And that's pure algebra, right? Or what about mastering imaginary units for electrical engineering? They're not just some weird abstract idea, they're a vital tool. And using them, yep, that depends entirely on how solid your algebra is. And then you've got vectors and polynomials in physics. That's the language of the field. Trying to work with them without a fluent command of algebra it's like trying to write a masterpiece novel when you don't even know the alphabet. So the bottom line is this. You need an absolutely unshakable foundation. When you're wrestling with some big, hairy, complex problem, the very last thing you want to be worried about is whether you made a simple algebra mistake. That right there, that is the hurdle. So if a shaky foundation is the real problem, what's the solution? Well, this is where a tool built specifically for this comes in. And today, we're going to look at one called AlgePrime because it's designed to fix this exact problem. So what is AlgePrime exactly? Think of it as a super comprehensive, high-end video series that's all about one thing, building your algebra foundation from the ground up so it's rock solid. It's not just a review, it's a complete rebuild. But here's the thing, AlgePrime isn't just a bunch of videos. It's a whole structured system, a method designed to get you to true mastery. Let's take a look at how the AlgePrime method actually works. The AlgePrime method really rests on these 4 pillars. First, it's guided learning. It's a journey where every single step logically builds on the last. Second, it's all about practical relevance, so you actually see how this stuff shapes the real world. Third, the explanations are amazing. They just break everything down into simple, digestible steps. And finally, you can track your progress with these cool interactive checkpoints, which really helps you stay on track. And like I said, this isn't just about watching videos. AlgePrime gives you a complete toolkit, everything you need to actually succeed. So what's in the box? With AlgePrime, you get interactive problem sets and quizzes to really sharpen your skills. You get downloadable reference materials, you get access to a community for support, and you get unlimited access to all 150 episodes. And you can watch them anywhere, on your phone, on your desktop, wherever. But on top of all those features, the people behind AlgePrime do something that really shows how much they believe in their program. It comes down to this number: 60.
It's a 60-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. I mean, that means there is literally zero risk for you. You can try AlgePrime, go through everything, and if it's not what you need, you get a full refund. It's really that simple.
Okay, so if you're feeling like, yeah, this is me, my foundation needs work, AlgePrime has a few different ways you can get started. Let's look at the learning paths you can choose. You've got a few options here. The weekly plan is awesome if you just want to dip your toes in and see what AlgePrime is all about. If you're ready to commit a bit more, the intro or intermediate packs are great. And for those who are all in on total mastery, the full series gives you everything. It's really just about what works for your goals and, your budget. Look, the advanced stuff is the fun part. I get it. But it's mastering the fundamentals that really unlocks your potential. So please, don't let this one single hurdle hold you back from the future you want. You can fix this. The first step is super easy. Just head over to algeprime.com to check it out for yourself. That's ALGEPRIME.com. See if AlgePrime is the tool you need to finally build that foundation for good.
Thanks for watching to the end of this video. If you want more content like this, there is a playlist that should be popping up right now. Stay tuned for more. I've also made this free video for you with solutions for creativity, financial strength, and online security. I hope you'll enjoy this offer as well as all the others featured on my channel. And that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Hermalau Tube. My name is Konstantin, reminding you that your interest is the current that powers this channel.